Welcome back to my channel. So we are here today to review the second episode of Love and Marriage DC, and I have to say I am enjoying the show. It's only episode 2. Episode 2 was kind of like, but then they had like the table scene, so we're gonna get into all of that. Let me get my notes because I wrote some handwritten notes this time or whatever because I don't think my phone was charging. I was trying to do this, but let's get into this review. Okay, so they start out with Ashley and Monique meeting, and they kind of discuss Monique and Chris, approaching 10 years of marriage. And Monique basically feels like she's not being heard. And I didn't really follow her in Real Housewives of Potomac, so you guys might know a little bit more about their storyline. As a viewer, I guess I'm like, I get it. Y'all are approaching 10 years and you got to keep it spicy. Ashley talks about her sacrifices, being married to Quicksilver. He's probably busy as I don't know what, which means that a lot of the responsibilities kind of fall on her. And I feel like men don't ever understand how much you do until it's up to them to do it, and they're like freaking out. That is something that I feel like, they all need to start paying attention to, especially Chris, because nobody's checking for Chris. Well, somebody might be checking for Chris, but I don't feel like anybody's going to be checking for Chris if Monique ever decides to leave him. So Chris needs to get it together. But Ashley feels like it's time for her to do her own thing as well. And so they kind of vibe and relate off of that. They relate about how, their husbands just get to kind of go free and do whatever it is they need to do. And they're kind of stuck at home trying to make sure nothing falls apart. So Monique lets Ashley know that she's having a dinner party. It's going to be a vegan dinner party. And they are both, her and Ashley are both pescatarian. I'm pescatarian as well, but I eat a little bit of chicken sometimes. But don't judge me. Judge your mother. Okay. Anyway. So Ashley is talking about she's getting underarm Botox because her underarm looks like a vagina if she takes a picture of it, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So she gonna get underarm Botox and underarm lipo, which I had no idea that there was such a thing. But Ashley, you look good, girl. So then they go to DJ Quicksilver, who is talking about how he's worked himself into exhaustion before. And if you watch this episode, he said that for the CIAA tournament that was in Baltimore this year, he had 15 events over 3 days. Now, everybody who burns the candle from both ends, yeah, it can be done. Kamisha, yes, it can be done. However, it's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you pay for it with your health, or some people pay for it with their lives because they're no longer here to be with their families because they burned it at both ends. So he needs to slow down and think about the overall bigger picture. Yes, we need you to make that money to bring in a household or whatever, but at this point in 2022, you need to figure out how to work smarter and not harder, because if you got to be hooked up to an IV after you have a couple of days of strenuous work, we need to rethink the career. Like, it's so many things that you could be doing. And if you have money already, you can just try to flip that money or invest it into something else and find something else to do. It's different if you like what you're doing, but you also need to create that, I don't like to say balance, because balance means you're not growing, but you need to be able to create that sweet spot between your work and your family. So Quicksilver needs to get it together, okay? Because I'm pretty sure somebody's waiting to snatch Ashley up if you don't get it together. Quicksilver need to take a break sometimes, though. So then Chris Samuels has lunch with Winter's Kevin. And it's really interesting because it looks like he's doing a bunch of talking in circles. I don't know if it's because of how they edited it, but we really didn't. I mean, it was kind of like a bunch of nothing to say a little bit. And so he's basically saying that, he still loves Winter and she didn't want to talk to him about the whole situation. He tells Chris about the fact that he's being accused of using company funds to take his daughter's ice skating, and he wasn't really focused on the whole overall look of you stealing company funds. Like, it doesn't matter what you were using it for, you're being looked at as a thief. So he was whatever he said to Chris is like feeling empathy for him, and he doesn't he's not totally on anybody's side, but it looks like he's feeling sympathy for Kevin. Now, Winter has a whole different story, so it's like the battle of he said, she said. Winter has claimed that she has receipts about how this man was manipulating her and how he's a huge con artist, but we haven't seen the receipts yet. But if the stuff that Winter's saying is true, this is crazy. But I mean, on the flip side, if a person is a career con artist, I mean, what do we expect him to say now? Like, oh, you got me. He's not going to say that. He's going to keep on trying to go on with the con. Like, I don't know. She has some things that she said on her IG Live that are very interesting. So if you guys are following her on IG, just go check that out. But I can't wait to see what the rest of the season holds for them, because clearly they were both a part of the show. So, I mean, who knows? So Monique Samuels goes to WPGC radio station, which is a popular radio station here in the area, and they are interviewing her, or basically pitching or talking to her about the possibility of joining a morning show that they're trying to have. They let her know what time she would need to be there, which is like 5 or 5:30 in the morning. It's going to be like they let her know what time she's got to be there, like 5 or 5:30 in the morning. And she realizes that if she's going to be there for an early morning show, then Chris is going to be responsible to get the kids together. So she's kind of worried about that or whatever. But like, for real, those are his kids. Let that nigga figure. For real, those are his kids. Let that Bama figure it out, because I mean, he just has to figure it out. He might not do it the way you do it, but he's going to figure out the way to do it that works for him. So they also let her know that they haven't decided yet who they want to have. They got to see some more people, but she's confident. She's like, they're not going to find nobody better than me. In February, they did debut the show. It's called The Good Morning Show. It's a weekday morning show from 6 to 10. So I don't listen to the radio like that because I no longer have to commute to work. So I'm not sure if it's still in the air. You guys comment below if you know that her show is still in the air. But she obviously did. She was the candidate that they picked. So we're going to get into the Winter story a little bit. So Chris was saying that, he was shocked about Winter and Kevin's breakup or separation because they looked so happy together, and they thought that everybody thought they were in love. And there was even like a video clip that they played of Winter saying that they had sex 8 times in one day, which is extreme to me because, did y'all eat? Did y'all sleep? I don't know. I don't know. So apparently, after a year of marriage, Kevin got accused of using company funds to take the kids ice skating. Chris says Kevin is a great person. And in the conversation that Chris is having with Kevin, he actually realizes that he needs to do better than what he's doing now. That it's not enough for his marriage with Monique. Kevin gets a little bit emotional in their conversation, but I do just want to point out that, Chris may not be the cutest guy, and, he may not be doing everything that Monique wants him to do, but at least he is trying, and he realizes that he has some issues that he needs to work on, and he's trying to actively work on it. So then Jamie and Quicksilver meet up for drinks, and Neil Lyons joins them. So Neil is the husband of the couple that I mentioned earlier that was advertised as a couple in this show. So they're all talking at the bar, and Quick actually brings up to Jamie, about him getting back into the nightlife. Is Arena going to be okay with that? Is she going to be jealous? Is Arena okay with him being back is Arena okay with him being back in the nightlife? Now, as a person that's from here, I can tell you that the chicks was probably on Jamie. Okay, they probably still are. And it takes a strong woman to deal with something like that. They are right. The men said that it takes a strong woman to deal with these guys in their nightlife occupations, because, you know, you have a lot of women out here that don't care that you're married, don't care that you're in a relationship. They just want what they want, and they come on strong. So I definitely know that probably was a challenge in their relationship. But Jamie said Randy got hands, so I don't know if she ever had to use them hands on nobody for that purpose or whatever. But I know it probably was difficult sometimes, because, you know, it ain't nothing but parties in the DMV. And if it's a popping party and you making money doing it, I can imagine how many nights she had to like deal with, you know, that, and like people probably talking shit and coming to her and reporting what they think they saw and all of this other stuff, whatever. But I feel like now they probably have gotten over all of that, and they're now like, we can't be separated, we can't be touched. You know what I mean? Because those, you know, those years are behind them. They skip back to see how Monique is prepping for the vegan dinner event. She has a chef there. She has a mobile bartender from the area there. So Chris and Monique start talking about his conversation that he had with Kevin. And like Chris lets her know like Kevin still loves her. And Monique is like, nah, I don't want to hear nothing he got to say. I believe Winter. And she says that Kevin swindled Chris too at that lunch, making him feel like he wasn't in the wrong. So as the season goes on, I feel like we'll learn a lot more of whatever the hell happened. And we're going to probably have to make our own opinion after we hear like whatever comes out, because it looks like both of them are talking on the show. So all of the guests are preparing to come over to the Samuels for the vegan dinner event. And Ashley and Quick stop to get some seafood before they go over there, just in case they don't like anything that's there. I thought that was kind of smart. I've definitely done that before. Like, I'm about to go somewhere, but let me just go ahead and get a quick couple appetizers in real quick, just in case I'm not going to be able to eat like I want to eat when I get to where I'm going. So this is where Quick tells Ashley that he was booked for 15 events over 3 days. And so she just kind of lets him know, look, you got to stop doing this, because I'm the one that has to catch everything when you get sick and take care of you and stuff like that after you've worked yourself into exhaustion. Then he asks her like if he can feed her. And I'm like, do you normally do that or no? Because what is happening right now? But they did talk about appreciating each other, and, you know, their dynamic looks like it's a good dynamic as well. So then they finally get to everybody, you know, it's time for the vegan dinner, and everything looks good. Like, the table looks good. Monique's done a great job with the place settings, and you got the vegan chef, she got drinks. It looks nice. When they announced that it's a vegan dinner, and Raina was like, she looked blown. She said she don't like vegan food. But I'm pretty sure they all knew that it was going to be a vegan dinner when Monique invited them, because she was so excited about it. And, you know. But I wonder how Raina felt at the end of the dinner. Did she actually like some of the things that she tried? If you're a meat eater, sometimes when somebody say vegan food, you're like, I cannot fathom that. But knowing how vegan food is these days, like, you could definitely get some bomb vegan food and feel like you ate. So, in my opinion, this is the setting for them to ask the marriage questions. However, I don't know why they feel like this couple needs to tell them all of their business. Because just because we went through something and we got through it, it doesn't mean that you're going to go through the same thing. I feel like they just want some of their dirt so they can all feel like they on equal playing ground, you know, with the things that are out about these people. But like, I don't know if they're trying to get dirt or not, but I know people in this area, we're private. We will share stuff, but Jamie is not dumb. Neither is Raina. They're on the show, and they're probably going to be as transparent as they can. But if it's something that they don't want to talk about, you're not getting that information. Okay? So Monique might as well just give it up. Monique started talking about how they about to go to Africa, and Raina said she wanted to do something like that, and Jamie kind of shushed her, or whatever. I don't know if she's suggested going there before and he just don't want to go or what. I don't know. But then there was another moment where they were talking at the table and Arena and somebody, Monique had asked about, like certain things that they went through, and Arena said that she thought it may have been infidelity, but she never caught him cheating. And Winter was kind of probing, and Jamie kind of shushed Arena for whatever she was about to say. He was just like, no, zip it. You know what I'm saying? And fast forward, they also have T-shirts right now with the little junk. If you get, I don't know, they probably sold out by now because they only had 10 available. But check out their IG. Yeah. As usual, I wonder how long this dinner conversation went on because I know that joke was juicy. I know they got hell of footage from this scene or whatever, because Chris and Monique got into an argument, and that was kind of crazy because I feel like Monique always start going in on Chris or taking these little jabs as soon as the camera start rolling, and he has to recover from them. But in this situation, he stood up for himself and he was like, hold up. She was saying that she had COVID and she felt neglected when she had COVID and they wasn't even feeding her, taking care of her. And he was like, wait a minute, hold up. He had to stand up for himself. But then in the end, they apologized to each other. So it was cool. So then there was like a situation, I was saying, where Jamie and Arena were talking about, they've been through ups and downs, peaks and valleys, and they've been through some bullshit. And so Ashley was like, well, we want to know what the bullshit is. And so Jamie was just like, we're in the best place right now, and doesn't want to bring it up. And I don't blame him because we're past that stuff. We're not just going to sit here and tell you all our transgressions so you can compare and all of that. No, if you want tips on how to, spice your marriage up or how to keep it spicy, that's different, but that's not what they're asking. They're asking about the bullshit. No, we're not. We're on TV. We're not about to talk about this and rehash all this stuff. Then all them old people who gonna watch the show gonna come out of the wood. No, they're not gonna do that. My money is not on that. But in Jamie talking about, what he does, he's like, everybody calls him for stuff, and he said everybody probably called Quick too. Quick's face in that scene was hilarious. So he was like, what? Wait, what? So then Winter started talking about the situation with Kevin because Monique brings up the fact that Kevin met with Chris earlier that week. And Winter takes offense to it or whatever. She lets them know, he's being sued for millions of dollars, and he left and didn't want to talk about it. He lives in his mom's basement. She didn't know he lives in his mom's basement. She thought it was just a regular two bedroom. She thought it was a regular basement apartment. And so Ashley kind of asked her a couple of questions like, well, why didn't you ask? And I think the fact was that they were dating during COVID and they did all this during COVID. So they really couldn't see each other as much as they probably liked or whatever. But I do agree that maybe they shouldn't have rushed into it. Maybe they should have waited until they had time to spend more time together before they actually got married. So, that was kind of it for this episode. Next week's episode is going to be the continuation of the table scene, and it looks spicy. So, y'all know I'm all here for a spicy moment. Looks like it's about to be lit. So, comment below. Let me know what I missed. Those are just the things that stood out to me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.